This is NBC Palm Springs.
Well, happy Friday to you. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Mary Strong alongside meteorologist Jerry Steffen. Hopefully you're bringing a little less humidity to the weekend.
No, opposite. It's going up. See right there?
Oh, no.
Temperatures will go down next week, but the humidity will be a factor in our forecast moving into a new week. Also, we have a chance of thunderstorms. Not so much today, but a few days down the line, we could see some action in the higher elevations.
Okay. All right. We'll check in with you shortly.
You got it.
Thanks, Jerry. Our top story this morning, a man was found dead yesterday in the Indio Canal. The body was found near Avenue 44 west of Dillon Road. Officials with Indio Police tell us the victim is a 57-year-old man, but his identity has not been released. We're waiting for details from the Riverside County Coroner's Office and will continue to keep you updated on this developing story. Meanwhile, we have an update on the murder of 13-year-old Alan Martinez of Cathedral City. The two men arrested in the case made their first court appearance on Thursday. Our NBC Palm Springs' Brett Rosen was there and has the very latest.
Here in Cathedral City, to my left, you can see the visual left behind for 13-year-old Alan Martinez, the boy that was shot here just last week. Now, the two individuals that are suspected in this crime had their arraignment today at the Indio Larson Justice Center. And local law enforcement tell me that this is a gang-related crime, and this just shows the harsh reality of getting involved in something so dangerous. Today, defendants James Carter and Christian Millward were set for arraignment at the Larson Justice Center in Indio. They were arrested earlier this week for being the prime suspects in a shooting in Cathedral City on the streets of Mission Indian and Whispering Palms, killing a 13-year-old boy named Alan Martinez. The Cathedral City Police Department says they believe this was a gang-related crime. Commander John Eno says gang-related crimes in the city is not very common, but it's something officers are trained for.
Most of our officers and our investigators are very well versed in who our gang members are, who's associating with who. And so when something happens, they tend to kind of have an idea of which way to go and where to look during their investigation.
Police say Alan Martinez was part of a gang at just 13 years old. And Eno says he has not had a case with a victim as young as Martinez. Law enforcement say in some cases, gang members are getting younger and younger.
Where, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s, your memberships were in the 20s, 30s. And gradually over the last decade or so, they've been trickling down to where you've got 13 to 14, 15-year-olds who are associating with gangs throughout the valley and also in our city as well.
Law enforcement say it starts at home, and parents need to be mindful of the type of people your children are hanging out with and talking to.
You know, it's a tragic event. I would say is a reminder for parents to be mindful of who their friends are, who their children's friends are, who they're associating with, know their social media activity, who and where they're talking. This case should be an eye-opener for parents that their children, if they fall into the wrong hands, could be a victim of a crime.
Now, with the arraignment earlier today, there was enough evidence for the DA's office to press charges on both suspects. And as this case continues, we will continue the coverage. Here in Cathedral City, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
Well, American Reproductive Centers in Palm Springs has reported its first pregnancy since the bombing that destroyed their old clinic. The clinic was the target of a bombing back in May off North Indian Canyon Drive. The clinic's new location is on the same street and reopened weeks later. Since then, they've completed 5 embryo thaw and transfers to patients at the facility, one of which resulted in a pregnancy. They're now waiting for the results on the 4 other procedures. The Rock Gallery Comedy Club is hosting a fundraiser event tonight to help the victims of that bombing attack. It'll be held at the club on North Palm Canyon Drive at 9 o'clock tonight. Comedian Francisco Ramos is one of the headliners. Tickets are around $55, and you can find a link for tickets on our newsroom tab on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. The local motorcycle community is mourning the death of a Desert Hot Springs man. 21-year-old Christopher Ventura was killed after crashing his motorcycle last week into a car. NBC Palm Springs' Alondra Campos has a story.
sounds of engines echoed through Desert Hot Springs. A community of riders gathered in unity and grief. Their helmets and headlights became symbols of love as they paid tribute to 21-year-old Christopher Ventura.
Christopher was a light. He focused on making you laugh. He focused on making sure that everyone around him was loved.
This is not even a fraction of the love and the kindness that Chris had spread among this community and let alone others.
At least 100 of Ventura's family members, friends, and riders from all parts of the valley came together to honor his memory. A scene that filled his mother's heart with an overwhelming sense of emotion.
Honestly, a grown man with a kid heart, you know? He was so pure.
Ventura, described as kind and full of love, died last week in a traffic collision as he was riding his motorcycle to work near the intersection of Palm Drive and Dillon Road in Desert Hot Springs.
I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it, but we're here, and this helps give closure.
One of the last people to see Christopher alive was a close friend who spoke with him just minutes before the crash.
Seeing the whole car accident happen, didn't know what was going on. I didn't know immediately that it was him, but I immediately started reaching out to the whole bike community, car community, letting everybody know, like, somebody had passed away.
Many of Christopher's family and friends not only came out to honor his memory, but also raise awareness about the frequent accidents they say occur at this very spot near the intersection of Palm Drive and Dillon Road. And they hope this tragedy will push the city to improve road conditions for drivers and motorcyclists alike.
All there is people just need to be a little bit more cautious, you know, on our end and people in cars.
We're gonna make this a safer spot, whether it's putting cones up, putting speed limits, putting whatever it is.
We spoke with the Desert Hot Springs Police Department, who acknowledged that Christopher's story is not an isolated case.
I'm typically on Palm Drive a lot. That is one of our main thoroughfares, and it's one of the places where it's a big part of contention. So I spend a lot of my time there, and approximately, just taking a guesstimate, about 90% of my citations are off of Palm Drive.
City officials say they are also working on ways to make this stretch of road safer.
What Palm Drive South encompasses is that we are going to do more bike lanes, more traffic signals. There's going to be about 138 new lights. So it's going to improve the safety of that street.
For Christopher's family and loved ones, those changes can't come soon enough.
Something tragic like this, it could be the last one. And that's the beautiful thing that I think Christopher has given us, is that he knows that this family is full of fighters, and we'll fight for him.
For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Alondra Campos.
We thank Alondra for that report. Let's take a live look now from our Agua Caliente casino camera in Palm Springs. We're going to head back to Jerry in the Weather Center for a look at your forecast today.
Yeah, it's changes coming up over the next several days. 91 degrees right now, Palm Springs, 25% relative humidity. So kind of dry on the west end of the valley. Southeast end, different story, 48% relative humidity. A bit of stickiness just begins today and even more on the way later next week. 79 degrees thermal. 75 at Yucca Valley, 90 Desert Hot Springs and Thousand Palms, 88 at Indio under sunshine, and 80 degrees at Cabazon to begin our Friday. Nothing on radar, obviously. We have clear skies over the valley, but with monsoonal moisture over Arizona and some of that moving into parts of Southern California, we may see an isolated thunderstorm in the mountains today. Nothing for the valley, but 112 to 116 puts us well above normal again. Dew points go up a little bit since yesterday. We'll see dew points around 60 degrees, relative humidity slightly higher as well, especially in the southeast end of the valley. High of 113 in Palm Springs and Indio, 114 Rancho Mirage, 111 Mecca and Desert Hot Springs today. And that extreme heat warning still there. It goes through tomorrow, then it will expire as the numbers go down. Rain chances go up along with humidity. Also, heat advisory extended through tomorrow as well for mountains and the Inland Empire almost to the coastline. Tomorrow on our Comfort Air 3-day forecast, above 110, closer to 110, under partly cloudy skies on Sunday. We'll look at the chance of rain for Southern California over the next several days and a city-by-city look at temps, what we can expect, and the tropics. That's coming up. Keep it here.
All right, Jerry, thanks. Well, if you enjoy museum tours, there's a neat opportunity arriving in September. Doors Open California is holding a statewide celebration providing tours of historic sites, and Desert Hot Springs is on the list. Cabot's Pueblo Museum and the historic Rock House will be proudly featured for an immersive educational experience. You can register for only $20 to access all the sites. The Palm Springs International Airport is getting ready for its 5th annual job fair scheduled for next week. It'll take place on Tuesday, August 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Palm Springs Convention Center's lobby. The fair will offer over 200 positions ranging from transportation to customer service. For more information on this and the DHS Historic Sites event, you can visit our newsroom tab on our website on NBCPalmSprings.com. The Palm Springs Airport recently received a $21.6 million federal grant to expand their checked baggage handling system. PSP received the funding from the Federal Aviation Administration's Airport Infrastructure Grant Program, which provides funds to U.S. airports for infrastructure needs. A new modernized baggage system with next-generation efficiency, speed, and capacity will be one of numerous improvement projects to support airport growth. The city of Indio is preparing to unveil a new 9/11 memorial. The unveiling will happen the morning of September 11th at Miles Avenue Park on the 24th anniversary of the terror attacks. It'll feature a steel artifact that's 12 feet tall from the former World Trade Center. It's time now for Where in the Valley, where we show you a photo of a location somewhere in the Coachella Valley and you guess where it is. So let me show you the photo. Here you go. Take a close look at this. Do you know where this is? You'll have some time to think about it, and we'll reveal the special location at the end of our broadcast. I'll give you a little hint before we get there. Coming up next on your morning news, we've got some exercises to help you if you are taking GLP-1 medications. And they're really important to maintaining muscle mass. We'll show you what they are coming up next. But first, let's head outside and take a live look at your Agua Caliente casino camera in Rancho Mirage. Mountains a little hazy this morning as we start this Friday off. Jerry's going to break down your full 7-day forecast heading into the weekend next.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
It's time now for Your Health Today, brought to you by Inland Empire Health Plan. There has been another recall of bagged frozen shrimp. According to the FDA, the shrimp manufactured by Southwind Foods is being recalled because of possible radioactive contamination. They were sold under several brand names at multiple retailers in 9 states between July 17th and August 8th. You should either throw out the product or return it to the store for a full refund. So far, no one has gotten sick. Well, this comes just days after Walmart's Great Value brand bagged frozen shrimp was recalled for the same reason. Around 600 Centers for Disease Control and Prevention employees were notified of permanent layoffs this week. About 2,400 workers were initially terminated in April, but a federal judge ordered hundreds to be reinstated. The Department of Health and Human Services has said reducing the number of employees at the CDC will make it more efficient. More than 15 million Americans are now finding weight loss success thanks to GLP-1 medications like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. But experts say if patients aren't careful, they could lose more than just fat. Mandy Gaither has more on the exercises that are critically important for people using these medications.
They've become an important weapon in the battle against obesity. GLP-1 medications can lead to significant weight loss, but experts warn the number on the scale can't decipher between fat and muscle.
The key to weight loss, and especially weight loss maintenance, is always going to be diet and exercise.
It's unclear how much muscle a patient on these drugs may lose, but studies have indicated anywhere from 15 to 60% of the lost weight is lean muscle mass, meaning if you shed 50 pounds, you'll potentially be losing 7.5 to 30 pounds of lean muscle. That's why strength and resistance training is crucial, says Cleveland Clinic Dr. Paminda Kabandugama.
Things like free weights, things like the weight machines help. In a lot of my patients who might be a little bit older, I do recommend things like water exercises.
Every week, Kabandugama says all adults should aim for 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity like a brisk walk, water aerobics, pushing a lawnmower, or playing a sport like doubles tennis. The CDC says you could also do 75 minutes of vigorous activity each week. That could include jogging or running, swimming laps, or playing basketball. Kabandugama says protein is also key to building muscle. On average, he recommends about 35 grams of protein with every meal.
We want them to make sure that, they are still preserving muscle, or even maybe gaining a little bit of muscle while they are technically losing weight.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If you'd like more information on our stories from the broadcast today, you can go to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com. You're going to find our top stories and breaking news right there on our homepage. And we've got a newsroom tab where all of our stories and community events are organized by date. We're going to head back over to Jerry in the Weather Center for a look at what's ahead in your forecast, Jerry.
Hot off the press, emphasis on hot. Yes, that extreme heat warning for Southern California and the Valley still in effect today. Temperatures above 110 definitely. Higher humidity in our future and a chance of a few mountain thunderstorms, maybe even some rain in the Valley. I'll explain. Full forecast next.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Mostly sunny skies, Agua Caliente Casino Cam behind me. We'll see a few more clouds build throughout the area, especially over mountains Yesterday was a hot day in the valley. We hit 116, well over the 108 normal, and a degree away from tying a record set back in 1969. Well, numbers are going to be above 110 again today. 79 degrees at Yucca Valley, pair of 90s, Desert Hot Springs, Thousand Palms at the airport, 91 degrees right now, winds light. That's the way it's going to be the rest of the day. Now, as far as radar, nothing happening in Southern California. A very light marine layer along the coast, but the thunderstorm activity, that'll all be to the east of us today. You can see some action still hanging over Arizona, but some of the monsoonal moisture is moving in our direction, so we could see a few thunderstorms on the eastern part of Southern California, and maybe even in our mountains, an isolated storm there. As far as temps, not as hot as yesterday, but still hot. 113 for Palm Springs and Indian Wells, 114 Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, Desert Hot Springs, 111 this afternoon, and still above 110 for the valley as we move into tomorrow afternoon. Because of that, extreme heat warnings still in effect through Saturday for a good area of Southern California, including the Coachella Valley, and the heat advisory, which was going to expire today, extended through tomorrow night. And that includes the Inland Empire almost to the coastline. And like I said, we're not the only ones. It's Nevada into parts of southern Arizona under those heat warnings. Now, high pressure will be situated in a way today that some of the monsoonal moisture will begin moving in our direction. So there is a chance of thunderstorms. This is the look at Friday through Sunday for the southwest. You can see some areas getting a little green there on our ensemble forecast, but it's Monday and Tuesday where that really begins to move into Southern California, and a little better shot of rain for us in Southern California. Okay, day by day. Friday, yeah, maybe an isolated thunderstorm in our mountains today. A little better chance for mountain thunderstorms on Saturday. Sunday, yeah, isolated stuff in the higher elevations. But it's Monday and Tuesday. We'll see some mountain thunderstorms and maybe a spillover shower over the valley. Again, Monday, Tuesday, I think my best bet will be Tuesday for rain chances in the Coachella Valley. Also, surface moisture. We're going to be dealing with that over the next few days. A touch of humidity with dew points around the 50s, close to 60 degrees today, tomorrow, and Monday. But the influx of moisture after we get that thunderstorm activity and maybe some rain, we'll see 70-degree dew points in some areas. Again, the stickiest day, Tuesday. Quick check of the tropics. Aaron backed off a little bit. It's a Category 1 storm, but it's picking up forward speed out of the northeast, right off the coast of New York. Right now, it's moving at a speed of 22 miles an hour, 90-mile-an-hour winds around its center. And this system will basically make its way off into the North Atlantic. So goodbye there. Also, next storm will develop just north of Puerto Rico and making its way basically to the north. There's Bermuda. It'll stay to the east of Bermuda before that begins to move its way to the northeast, and it's a smaller storm, not as intense as Aaron. And what will that name storm be? Fernand. Okay. Forecast, Comfort Air 7-day forecast. Above 110 today and tomorrow. The best shot of rain for our area will be Monday and Tuesday. Numbers go down, but the humidity does go up. We'll go from 113 today to 100 degrees and sticky conditions on Tuesday.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
These are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
Friday
Time for
dance.
hashtag holiday calendar and pop quiz. Manny's with us. We have a couple questions. Put on your thinking caps, loosely related to one of the days. We have a couple questions for you.
Yes.
What's going on
Putting it
today?
on.
Brought to you by One Coachella Valley. It's Friday, August 22nd, 2025, World Plant Milk Day.
What is that?
Plant milk, you know, a great alternative to cow milk.
Oh, plant
like almond milk, right?
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. While plant milk provides key nutrients and minerals, it also helps with the battle against global warming. I drink some almond milk.
You do? We did a test on our show for Wellness Wednesday, and it turns out that coconut milk is the healthiest for you. Interestingly enough, so something to look into.
Okay, Plant Milk Day. Yeah, today's the day to try it out. National Pecan Torte Day, or pecan. Pecan?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
If you're fancy, it's pecan.
If you're fancy.
Which
yes,
we
so
are,
we'll do that. We'll say pecan.
A rich, dense dessert. So you might want to try that today.
Ooh,
There's
that
always a
looks
food item
very
in our
good.
calendar.
I know, Jerry.
Takes us right off our diet plan.
Eat too much of that? Yeah, it's a National Tooth Fairy Day.
Oh,
Teeth will
there you
fall
go.
out. Put them
Yeah.
under your pillow.
Yeah.
It's a day to promote oral health for kids and celebrate the tradition of the Tooth Fairy. Also, it's National Eat a Peach Day today.
That I'll do.
National Eat a Peach Day. Why today? Well, the Peach Day occurs in August because it's one of the harvest months for the fruit. And although the state of Georgia is known as the Peach State, South Carolina and California are up there as well.
Yeah, I've seen a ton of them in stores, haven't you? Yeah, it's very good.
Eat a peach. That's our key phrase today in our pop quiz, and we have two questions, multiple choice for you today.
All right.
Here's the first of two. One of the biggest selling albums in 1972 was the double disc vinyl set called Eat a Peach. This album is best known for the tracks Ain't Wastin' Time No More, Melissa and Blue Sky. Name this band. A, the Allman Brothers Band, B, the Charlie Daniels Band, or C, the Marshall Tucker Band.
Is it playing in the background?
A song from the band, I believe. Is,
Yes. I'm going to go Allman Brothers.
Got an A?
I'll be the other one.
Okay. Let's see.
Control room.
Let's see who's right. Oh, no. Nick's not, can't play.
He's the audio guy. He plays the music, so he knows the answer, which is the Allman Brothers Band. They had a band.
He's trying to be a rebel.
Yeah, I saw that. Yes,
They had
you
an
were.
album called Eat a Peach. Okay, second peach-related question. Peaches was a Los Angeles-based retail chain of sorts, which began in 1963. At its peak in the 70s and 80s, there were around 50 Peaches stores across the country, all known for their wooden crates. Which product did Peaches provide? A, fruits and veggies, B, records and tapes, or C, toys and games? Back to the control room. Peaches.
What is that?
What?
Peaches.
Peaches across the
The
country.
brand Peaches.
I worked at one.
All known for their wooden crate. Oh, if Jerry worked at
CCB.
one.
Then he said,
Oh,
oh,
yes.
that is-
I know. I'm doing that too. Jerry, good
I shouldn't have
hint.
said that. Yeah.
Hint, hint.
But I was very
record guy.
Yay. We know you. Wow.
Yeah, records.
Peaches.
You don't remember
that's-
Peaches,
no.
the record store?
No.
Oh, man.
You worked
Yeah.
there?
They had wooden crates that you would assemble that would hold your albums.
Oh, that's so cool. I can visualize it.
I wish we
Maybe
had
I've seen
that
it in
now.
movies. Has it been in movies?
I'm sure you
Probably.
remember, right?
Yeah.
Okay, back in a bit. Manny's got movie talk, news,
That's right.
headlines, with
Relay.
Mary, and of course, updates on the humid weather and chance of thunderstorms on our way. So, yeah, we'll talk about that too. Come back, please.
Peaches.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news. Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Welcome back on this Friday, August 22nd. I'm Mary Strong. Thanks so much for waking up with us on this beautiful Friday morning. Jerry's going to have your full AccuWeather forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but first, a look at some of the stories making headlines at this hour. Well, you may want to hold off on throwing away that broken electronic device or appliance. Tomorrow, the city of Palm Springs is holding their Fix-It Fair at the Mizell Center. It starts at 10 in the morning and is hosted by the Sustainability Department. You can bring small appliances, electronics, clothing, and other items to give perfectly good products some new life. You can bring 2 items each. The Blue Zones project in Palm Springs is continuing their cleanup project on Saturday at Downtown Park. If you'd like to participate, it's to raise awareness about local tobacco use and waste in public parks. This is the second of 4 planned events across community parks in the city and starts at 6:30 in the morning. Each cleanup highlights the need for stronger local tobacco ordinances to better protect public health, particularly in outdoor spaces. And don't forget, tomorrow is Animal Samaritan's 5th annual Doggist Birthday Bash. It's at the Rowan in Palm Springs and starts at 11 in the morning. There are only 5 tickets left, so hurry up and grab those. There will be puppies and kittens available for adoption, a wonderful lunch and cocktails, and the best part, all proceeds go to Animal Samaritans and their life-saving programs. Please leave your own pets at home, though. The city of La Quinta will be honoring fallen Marine Corporal Hunter Lopez and his fellow service members who were killed at the airport attack in Afghanistan. The city will hold a lightsaber vigil on Tuesday, August 26th at 7 in the evening at Civic Center campus in La Quinta. That's just off Washington Street and Calle Tampico. You're encouraged to bring lightsabers to create a powerful and visual display of support. The lightsabers are replacing candles because Hunter was an avid Star Wars fan. There's new information about rehabilitation efforts after the Rosa fire. It comes as 2 organizations team up to monitor and protect sensitive species. NBC Palm Springs' Tiani Jadaling has more.
Earlier this month, the Rosa fire burned 422 acres of conserved land. 2 parcels surrounding this Palm Canyon trailhead, totaling up to 15 acres, was part of that damage. And this morning, Friends of the Desert Mountains, alongside the U.S. Forest Service, started the recovery process.
When the fire took place, they had to create a road outside of the trail, and so they had to bring that road back in. So a lot of dirt, a lot of rocks, everything like that was brought back in.
Friends of the Desert Mountains owns the upper part of the trailhead. According to the nonprofit, it's a piece of land that was conserved in the early 2000s and will take a lot of resources to rehab and make safe for those who use the trail.
With being a nonprofit, of course, we accept donations and would really appreciate the public helping us out here and helping our nonprofit, get this trail back open.
This Palm Canyon trail stretches down to Palm Springs. Experts with the Friends of Desert Mountains tell me rehab could take up to a year, meaning those that frequent this trail won't be able to access it for some time. The organization's main concern at the moment has to do with erosion, especially if the San Bernardino National Forest could see heavy rain in its future.
We don't know what type of holes that it's going to create. You just don't know what those valleys are going to do with the rain.
And during this time, they have one request for those in the area.
Please respect the closure of the Upper Palm Canyon Trail so that we can start working on fixing the trail to make it safe for everyone as soon as possible.
Tiani Jadaling, NBC Palm Springs.
In other news, the Menendez brothers, Eric and Lyle, who murdered their parents back in 1989, had the opportunity for parole this week. In a bid to show that they are now suitable for release, Eric, who is now 54 years old, appeared before the board on Thursday, but he was denied. He will have a chance to pursue parole again in 3 years. Lyle, who is 57 years old, will appear today. The brothers were convicted in 1996 after 2 high-profile trials. They claim they killed their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, in self-defense after years of abuse at the hands of their father. Prosecutors have disputed those claims and described the killings as ruthless and financially motivated. California voters this fall will be asked to approve Democratic-drawn congressional maps after the legislature approved a bill Thursday calling for a special election in the fall. NBC's Ashley Zavala reports.
This redistricting battle began with President Donald Trump in July. He called on Texas to redraw congressional lines to send 5 additional Republicans to the U.S. House of Representatives. In response, Governor Gavin Newsom rallied state Democrats to do the same thing here. But the process in California is not as simple as Texas. In 2008, voters created a citizen-led independent redistricting commission. So now only voters have the power to change the maps. Last week, the governor launched a campaign for what he called the Election Rigging Response Act, asking voters to approve a new map that heavily favors Democrats. The official bills were introduced Monday. And by Thursday afternoon, California lawmakers approved the map and passed the legislation. Soon after, Governor Newsom signed the bills outlining the logistics and funding for the special election.
The voters will decide for themselves. Never happened in U.S. history. Spare me any moral or false equivalency of what they're doing in Texas.
Rigging congressional districts to get partisan results. That's what a gerrymander is.
We're hearing reaction from both sides of the aisle. The chair of the group, Stop Sacramento's Power Grab, sent KCRA3 a statement saying in part, Gavin Newsom's disgusting display of partisanship is an attack on California's voter-approved independent redistricting system, as he aims to advance his own political interests. Meanwhile, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee saying in part, in holding a special election to ask the voters of California to decide on a new congressional map, California's proposal stands in stark contrast to the Republicans' shameless scheme in Texas.
Well, earlier we showed you a photo of a location somewhere in the Coachella Valley, and I told you I'd show you that photo again and give you a hint before we reveal it at the end of our broadcast. So let me show you the photo again. Here's the hint. This place is near a common parade route. Think about that. We'll tell you more about this special location coming up later in our broadcast. But first, we're going to head back to Jerry in the Weather Center for a look at what's ahead in your forecast. Jerry?
Changes on the way, kind of beginning today. We'll see mostly sunny skies, a few clouds, mostly over the mountains today. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm you can see in our Toro Peak cam. A few clouds are out there. Full forecast, and look at that 7-day. That's coming up next.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more.
Let's take a look outside right now and see what's happening on our Agua Caliente Casino Cam view here. We have some sunshine, but again, some clouds out there as well. We'll see a little bit more later in the afternoon, especially over the mountains. Yesterday, we hit 116, a degree away from tying a record again of 117. 108, that's our normal temp, and we'll be above that again today. 78 degrees at Yucca Valley, 82, 29 Palms, 88 at Thousand Palms in Indio to begin our Friday. Winds light. That'll be the case for the rest of today. And as far as rain, yeah, nothing happening yet. Things will change a little later on today, but especially early next work week. But as far as rain, got to look to Arizona for that, and that'll be more widespread because that's where the monsoonal moisture will be over Arizona. But some of it will be funneled into parts of Southern California beginning today, and that could bring us a mountain thunderstorm later this afternoon. Now, temps are still going to be up there. They're going to be above normal. 113, the forecast high in Palm Springs today. Same for Indio, La Quinta, 114s at Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, and Cathedral City, 111 at Desert Hot Springs today, and still above 110 for many of us in the Coachella Valley. Tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, 112 for Palm Springs. So that extreme heat warning still in effect through tomorrow for a good area of Southern California and does include the Coachella Valley. Again, it expires tomorrow night. And the heat advisory, which was set to expire tonight, extended through Saturday. That includes mountains all the way to almost the coastline. For Southern California. We're not the only ones. Parts of Nevada, Arizona under that heat warning as well. So monsoonal moisture, we'll watch that very closely. Monday, more of it begins to move into Southern California. Tuesday as well. Now taking you day by day. Friday through Sunday, most of the action over Arizona, although some isolated mountain thunderstorms are a possibility here. But it's Monday and Tuesday, we get an influx of that monsoonal moisture rotating around the western end of a high pressure center, tapping into that moisture. Day by day, as far as our forecast for the Coachella Valley, yeah, maybe an isolated thunderstorm in higher elevations. That'll be the case on Saturday, maybe a couple more. But again, over the mountains only, nothing for the valley. Sunday as well, maybe an isolated thunderstorm in the higher elevations. But again, Monday and Tuesday, thunderstorms for the mountains indeed, but still a spillover shower for the valley is a possibility. I think the best shot will be Tuesday. Surface moisture, we'll be watching that today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. Dew points in the middle 50s to around 60 degrees, so a touch of humidity out there, but that skyrockets on Tuesday. We could see dew points near 70 degrees. Quick check of the tropics. We've been watching Erin since the 11th of this month. It's still out there just off the coast of New York, moving its way quickly to the northeast right now, packing winds of 90 miles an hour around its center, making it a Category 1 hurricane. Moving quickly, though, at 22 miles an hour forward speed. That speed will pick up as it moves its way to the North Atlantic. So we say goodbye to Erin over the weekend. But another storm, much smaller and not as strong, will be developing hundreds of miles north of Puerto Rico and coming close to Bermuda, which is right there to the east of the island, and then that zooms off to the northeast. And if that forms over the weekend, it'll be Fernan. Okay, Comfort Air 70 forecast above 110. Yeah, extreme heat warnings that affect today and tomorrow. The numbers do back off slightly Sunday. Humidity does go up along with a chance of mountain thunderstorms. An isolated storm today, tomorrow, Sunday with the best shot of rain. Maybe even a spillover shower for the valley Monday and Tuesday.
Coming up here on Today, a first-hand look at supplements that promise to turn back the hands of time. They're advertised everywhere, but how well do they actually work? Vicki Nguyen decided to find out for our Fountain of Youth series, and she's going to share the results this morning on Today.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
These are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. NBC Palm Springs. The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, the high school football season officially underway here in the Coachella Valley, and not the start the Rancho Mirage Rattlers wanted, but you know what? You front load your schedule, you play some of these better teams from out of town to prep you for a league, and that's what happened tonight.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. This Christian high school team out of El Cajon, they're a powerhouse. They went 4-0 in league last year, so we knew Rancho Mirage was going to have their hands full, but it was definitely a very stagnant start and didn't really get rolling anytime later in the game.
Yeah, you could tell at the beginning of the game both teams a little shy, maybe not that they didn't practice during the summer, but you're trying to get your feet wet, trying to get your playbook going, and you're just not trying to make a mistake. And it was 0-0 really up until halfway through the second quarter, and then Central started, or Christian rather, in El Cajon, they started pulling away a bit.
Yeah, Christian scoring late in that second quarter, and then again just before halftime to put it 15-0. And ultimately in the beginning of the game, I was telling you, I don't know if both teams' defenses are both really good or if the offense is just flat. And ultimately, it just seems that Rancho's offense needing a little bit work, but a good lesson learned here tonight for the Rancho Mirage Rattlers.
Yeah, and the Rattlers offense picked it up a little bit in the third quarter, and Julian Hernandez was able to sneak into the end zone. So there's some things to build off, and that's what they'll do and regroup as they play a tough Coachella Valley Mighty Arabs team next week. But for us, at least tomorrow, full slate of games. You got the Mayor's Cup in Indio, Palm Desert's home, Palm Springs is home. We got it all jam-packed ready for you.
It's going to be a lot of fun. High school football officially back in the Coachella Valley, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
She's Caitlin Kelly. I'm Tim O'Brien tonight from Rancho Mirage, home of the Rattlers, where the Rattlers fall to Christian.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Well, look who's here today to bring in this wonderful Friday morning, and you've got some tips for us for theaters this weekend.
That's right. The new film, it's a new film called Relay, and it's one of my favorite paranoid thrillers ever made.
Ooh.
It's from director David Mackenzie, and it stars Riz Ahmed and Lily James as the fixer and the client. Take a look at this sneak peek.
My name is Sarah Grant. I'm in possession of evidence of an unlawful cover-up.
There are a number of whistleblower support organizations.
No, I just want to give everything back.
Hi, Manny. How you doing?
Hi, guys.
Good to see you again.
Big congrats on Relay, a smart, paranoid thriller that had me on the edge of my seat. I was a mess. Oh, my gosh.
There are official channels, but there are unofficial ones.
Who is he?
You, Mr. Riz. Nice to see you again, by the way.
You too.
Equally fantastic as our fixer Tom or James or Ash. Talk to us about your very interesting character. How did you find the heart of your character, a former alcoholic fixer who loves the Who?
Yeah, I think this character does have a lot of heart, you know, and it might not seem it because he's got quite a tough exterior in a way. He has to be guarded. He's got a lot of trust issues, understandably so, because he's doing a very dangerous job.
This is the Tri-State Relay Service.
What is that?
It's a hearing assisted device for the deaf.
There was a lot of tension in there, and you're playing with that with Riz's character not saying anything. You know that there's corporate malfeasance and sort of industrial espionage and all those kind of things going down, and there's a kind of flavor of paranoia.
They may try to scare you. They may try to make a deal.
They're really two lonely souls, right?
Yeah, beautifully put. That's exactly right. They're these lonely souls looking for connection, looking for something to believe in, trying to do the right thing and stand up against these big kind of powerful corporations that seem to control and run the way we live. It's very human, and they, in the most unlikely of terms, build up this very deep and profound connection.
Has it ever gone wrong?
Sometimes we have to walk away.
Are you lonely?
I recommend we keep communication to a minimum.
This film has a lot of soul to it, as well as being a thriller.
You never really know who to trust. You never really know what's going on. Everyone's so paranoid. Everyone's so frightened. And so there's so many twists and turns in this story that I could barely keep up.
A big congrats on Relay. Again, one of the best paranoid thrillers I've seen in a while.
Thank you, Manny. See you next time.
Thank you for using the Tri-State Relay service. Have a wonderful night.
Ooh. Yes, so don't forget, watch Relay in theaters right now. I love it.
Oh, I know you were saying you really like it.
Yes.
I can't wait to see that.
Yes.
And then you interviewed Ron Howard
Yes.
this week. How did that? I saw that pop up, and I'm like, Manny interviewed Ron Howard.
And he is amazing. I love him. The film is called Eden. How many kisses? You'll find out later at 11 a.m. But we're talking about this behind the scenes.
Yes.
For girls and some guys, there's some nice surprise from Jude Law in the film Eden.
Okay. Manny's not going to give it all away, but
No.
he told me, and it's pretty
amazing.
eye-opening. Let's just say that, eye-opening. So we got to see the movie.
Yes, Eden.
Thanks, Manny. It's time for Dish Detective. It's a contest we're running on Instagram with Dining with the Davids. They show us some food from a local restaurant and give hints about that restaurant, and you guess where it is.
And if you guess correctly, you are entered into a drawing to win a $100 gift card to that restaurant. Last week's restaurant was Athena Your O in Palm Desert. The deadline to guess this week's restaurant ended yesterday at noon. Let's take a look at some of the clues.
First up, a golden tostada throne cradling a lavish ensemble of grilled chicken, refried beans, a harmonious duet of cheeses, crisp romaine, and a sprightly pico de gallo. For the main act, one beef patty, gorgonzola, marinated portobello, romaine basil mix, and red pepper aioli. A patty so posh, it just might ask you to tango before the first bite. And for the grand finale, a white chocolate raspberry cheesecake luxuriously smooth, swirled with a vibrant raspberry glaze that's simply music to your taste buds.
Ooh, were you able to guess what it is? The restaurant of the week is Bongo Johnny's in downtown Palm Springs.
You know what? I saw an artwork of my good friend Marconi. He's an artist, and they use his artwork there at Bongo Johnny's. So I'm like,
oh, that's so cool. Well, a big cheers to all of our foodie sleuths who played along and guessed it right this week.
There can only be one winner, and it was George Ford.
Yay.
Congratulations, George. You win a $100 gift card to Bongo Johnny's. We hope you enjoy your meal there. And once again, you can take me and Mary.
Yes, we are available. We would love to join you, especially if that burger is as good as it looks.
That looks so good.
Be sure to follow both NBC Palm Springs and Dining with the Davids on our Instagram for your next chance to win. We'll have your next clues for you on Monday morning.
Exciting.
Now let's take a look outside at your Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. We're going to be right back with a recap of your weather forecast with Jerry and reveal our Where in the Valley special location. Ooh. Did you guess that? We'll be right back.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
Babies are experts at paying attention to only what is genuinely fascinating, and we couldn't agree more. NBC Palm Springs News. Even astronauts.
It's time to reveal our special location for our broadcast. Did you guys guess where this is? Jerry?
Parking lot.
Not your backyard, no. This is the Coachella Valley History Museum in Indio. It was established in 1965 by the Coachella Valley Historical Society, and the goal is to ensure that local history has a place to be remembered. It's beautiful.
Nice.
And Surf's Up. More than 25 dogs joined their owners for the Ocean Fest Surfer competition in Hawaii on Thursday. Wow, look at them go. Some pets rode the waves alone, others rode tandem. It was the 10th year of the competition. Teams competed for a year's supply of raising canes and other prizes. I would have really loved to have been there this week and get in that ocean.
And I would love to get the year supply of racing canes.
Of racing canes. So, okay, good. Take me to Hawaii and I'll buy you that.
There you go. Done.
Done. We're going to need that ocean. Maybe a little getaway this weekend with the humidity.
Surfing dogs are okay, but I'm more of a water skiing squirrel guy.
Oh, you are. Good to know.
Forecast today, we do have extreme heat warnings that affect through tomorrow. The numbers do back off, but the humidity goes up. We could see an isolated mountain thunderstorm today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Best shot of maybe a few sprinkles in the valley Monday and Tuesday.
And Manny, you've got a little tease coming up at 11.
At 11 a.m., Relay and Eden. The Ron Howard and Jude Law extravaganza.
East of Eden?
No, not East of Eden.
Just Eden.
We hope you have a great, great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday morning.